Hello Internet, my name is Ace and today we're going to be talking about how to create cartoon characters and drawings in general from reference images. Now you can get reference images from Google or anywhere like that, and as long as you're not copying them exactly and you're actually creating characters from them, everything will be fine. So what I'm seeing with this dude here, I mean I've never really drawn fish before, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of draw them. So what I'm seeing here is this. He's like an oval shape with this kind of thing cut out of it. So that's what we're going to create. So we've got an oval here, this kind of thing, and again, it's fine to be real. I say this all the time, but it's fine to be really sketchy. As we're creating, sketchiness is fine because we're not getting things set in stone, and we can just kind of change things as we wish. Now, he's got this very straight line. If we look coming down the front of his nose. Now I want to kind of accent that a little bit more, so I'm going to angle it a little bit more like this. So let's come, or I might do it the other way and just come. Yeah, I think that's going to be even funnier. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to look at the unique things of an animal or of a person, and kind of try and make them more funnier. So we've got a slight angle here. We're coming at this kind of angle. Whereas if you look at this angle here, it's a bit more pronounced. But I'm just going to really play on this and make this quite funny. Because he's a funny looking dude. Now, if you look, the eyes are, roughly halfway up, give or take. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to place the eyes roughly halfway, but we're going to kind of make them a little bigger because cartoon characters always look, well, not always look better with big eyes, but quite often do. The where the expression happens as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add this in here like this, and as you can see on here, the eyeballs is perfectly in the center, but what we're going to do is we're just going to make it slightly offset like this. So some people like to actually draw the animals in as accurately as possible first, which I do that, but I just thought I'd go straight into kind of not caricaturing them, because we're just using them more as a basis for character design. So we're not doing like trying to create an accurate caricature with their likeness. We're just kind of using elements of the fish for a funny design. Okay, now if we look here, it's actually got quite human lips there. It actually looks quite funny, but we're gonna go from, if you look, this goes from roughly center of the eye and comes out, and this protrudes slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, I don't know, roughly there. We're going to come out, down, then we're going to come up like this, and we're going to protrude this. Let's protrude this even further. Let's just be really silly with this. There we go. So we've got this kind of shape here. Then we're going to come down with this, and if you look here, it kind of tucks in here and this part comes off. So that is what we're going to do. So we're going to come round like this. There we go. And this guy's starting to come together now, and he's got this kind of cool pattern that goes down like this. So we're going to come in further than it is and come out further than it is, obviously to accommodate for the eye. We're going to come down, round, and tuck in. Well, it actually tucks in just before here and comes down and round like this. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we've got this goofy looking fish. Now let's just, when I'm sketching normally, I never rub out, but let me just rub this out here so we can really see that he's got this flat bit here. He looks awesome. So let's bring this out slightly to signify an upper lip, and that would come down, I guess, a little bit and then bulge out a little bit. So we want this to be flat, and we if we're really stylizing it, we could just have this thing that's like that with the mouth coming off. But we're adding a little bit of form to it. So we're going up, round, and then we're coming more to a point. So we'll come off this, actually create the point around the eye line, and come back down. If you look, actually, there's this kind of thing going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to come straight with this, and then bend this round, like so. This dude's looking kind of fun now. And there's a ton of anatomy in here. If you look at all these bumps and stuff like that, we're just going to signify that slightly, like so. We're not trying to worry too much about the anatomy at this point. We're just worrying about getting a cool looking character. So then we've got this extravagant looking, what are they? They're the fins, flippers. I'm not really sure. As you can tell, I don't really know too much about fish. So we've got this kind of design coming off like so. And we've got this pattern that comes and breaks this up and goes towards this point. So that's what we're just looking at. We're just really looking at how to make this thing funny. Now we've got the gills down in here. So let's add those things in. Like that. So we're going to make them go a bit smart. Like they kind of remind me of shark gills, actually, which is funny because he's a grumpy looking dude. So if you can see, this bit comes up and it is actually in different segments. So what we'll do is move that slightly there. Let's do that. So this comes here, like so. Let me just clean this area up a little bit. This is going to come and then across, level, and this part is going to tuck down like that. So that bit's not going to exist there. Then we're going to add these kind of flicky things on there. So just flick them off a little bit. And the same, let's just move him across a little bit. There you go, little guy. Come across. So as you can see, the kind of the first part of this back. Well, let's make this one really extravagant. And he's got these funny things that come off like this, these spikes. So we can add these in here. I've just been really sketchy. This is just the first run of looking at. That's what we're doing. We're looking. We're seeing what kind of things we like. So I would then further go and caricature it further from memory and all these kind of things. But I know this tail's quite large, but let's just play it down slightly, just to really accent everything else. Like so. So we've got these funny patterns and stuff in there, but we're not worrying too much at the moment at capturing capturing the specifics. We're just trying to kind of create a funny character from it. So that'll do for that. That kind of looks funny enough to me. What I'll do is I'll go in and clean these up slightly off camera, because it just adds to the video time if I'm doing it on camera. So yeah, so there we go. So I kind of like that. It's not the best character design, but it's kind of it's fine. So let's then go add this dude in. Let's add another layer. And as we can see, he's quite thin here, gets quite fat here, and then comes to a point down here. So what kind of shape is going to best represent him? Let's work from a square with this dude. And then we're going to come up, and let's go even higher than this square to really give that forehead. And as you can see, he's got this nice arc going down. So we're going to squash that a little bit to just add a bit of accent. Come up, down, like this. I may actually do some full-on paintings of kind of goofy-looking fish, because these are great. Having lots of fun with these. Let's have this, and then these lips. Look at these lips. These lips are awesome. So what I'm going to do is let's stick the eye in first. Oh, let's make this dude with a really big eye, like that kind of thing, because that's just fun. And then let's give these lips a lot of attention. So let's make these things really big. So let's look at what kind of shape we have. So they're essentially this shape, like this. We're just trying to get a sense of the actual shape before. And then he's got this kind of like underbite, is that what it's called? So let's push that even further. Let's really give him like an underbite. Like so. Then let's join that in and come off. Again, just slightly coming away from the square, rectangle. So he's going to have this kind of view. Again, we're not trying to create this guy perfectly. We're just kind of trying to get something funny from it. So let's do that. Let's add this little flappy fin thing in. There we go. And then let's bring in some of this anatomy a bit more. Like so. So I'm just trying to look as I'm doing this. And then bring this up like this and down in here. There we go. So we have this kind of fun looking fish with an underbite. Like so. Then that's going to come off and create this kind of nice shape. Like this. So we're just looking at what we think of when we see this fish. I really like this black pattern in here, so let's add that in. Like I say, we're not drawing this fish. We're drawing we're drawing our own fish that's going to have the funniest attributes from our reference image. And this is the same with all. And actually, this space here, I don't like it coming that far down. So I think it doesn't give the lips as much of accent as they could have. So let's do something like that. Let's get rid of this bottom bit. Like so. Now let's really just try and push this now. And what I'll do is I'll go over these lips in a different colour, so you can see what I'm thinking. Sorry. Let's add these in. There's actually some really cool shapes going on in here. Right, let me just go over that in red, just so you can actually see what I'm thinking. So we've got this part. Let's carve into that a little bit. It doesn't really happen nowhere near as much as what we're doing, but that's fine. Like this. Yeah, in fact, I've decided I'm definitely going to do some kind of goofy-looking fish paintings. And I will actually record these and put them on the channel, because these look really fun. There we go. So that's what I'm thinking with the lips. And then he has actually got this funny little nose. comes like this, like so. Then whenever there's a bump that kind of makes sense to do so, we're going to accent it. Just to add to the 3D and just to really add to how cool this thing is. Now we've got this top decoration on here. If I'm going to start drawing and painting fish more, I need to learn what these things are called, because it annoys me when I don't really know what things are called. There we go, and then we've got them lines going like this. Then, like we did with the last one, we're going to really underplay the tail, because the tails on some fish are pretty funny, but on this fish, it's not like a real defining part of the fish, in my opinion. But again, all of this is just what I would do, and in fact, I would actually go in further and really push this fish even further, because I feel like there's a lot more funny things that could be done with this fish. But hey ho, let's just leave it like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's kind of got the look I was thinking of. Obviously, there's a bit more of these details in here that are going on, breaking these forms up a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of a funny looking dude. Let's just define these forms a little bit more, like so. Yeah, I'm really liking this guy. This guy's cool. What was the first guy like? Yeah, we've got a couple of cool ones. So let's do one more, just to really get a bit of diversity. And like I say, I'll clean these up a little bit, but I'll do these off camera. So what I'm seeing here is I'm just seeing a square like this. And it would actually be funny to just build off this square. So let's do that. We're going to come off slightly here. Let's see. I can't believe how great some of these some of the patterns and the actual details and stuff on fish are. That if you actually look at these things, they're really cool. So we'll have, this has got quite a extreme angle, but we're gonna just make it more extreme, and this being like really low is the defining point for me, and I will actually bring them out further because I just like how these things look. Now I'll come slightly off this square here, and if we look, it's a little below the center line where the actual things all come together and connect. I might actually do a painting of this one actually, because this guy looks funny, like before you've even done anything to him. This guy's great. So I've got this, and I know that this doesn't come out quite as far as what I've done, but I just like this. It kind of looks like a bit of a ghetto booty thing going on. So, and I'm going to, again, I don't know why, but I kind of tend to downplay the details and everything that I do. Not everything I do, but I mean fish, which I've only ever drawn now 2.5 fish in my whole life, so I don't know that I can say that with certainty, but here we go. So this eye we can see is quite low, so I'm going to make it even lower. Going to give it this kind of look. And where can we push these forms even more? Now I've just realised that my CT companion is not plugged in, so I'm just going to do that. I apologise. I don't know what the battery's like. There we go. Then let's add this part on here like so. And I'm just going to move him over. I really want to push this out. Let's see how far we can get away with it. Obviously, it doesn't come out far on the reference image, but to me, this is just what makes this fish. And if I was to create this for an actual book or animated character, I would get a lot of different reference pictures of this fish, and I would play around. I'd push things more, other things less. Now, actually, to me, I'm seeing that the bottom lip is slightly thicker than the top lip, so I'm going to make it even more so, like this. So it's good to kind of just have variation, not just make everything the same size. Okay. Just going to come. And this bottom lip pushes out slightly more. Fishes tend to have underbites. I'm kind of figuring out. Like so. Then let's push this closer to the eye because the eye is bigger. And let's really try and get some of these cool shapes in there. Like this. I'm going to do a painting of one of these. Probably this guy. This guy's great. Let's have a look. And I'm guessing here on the actual reference is one of those fin, whatever, I don't know what they're called. But it's obviously camouflaged a little. So I'd maybe, if I was doing this for a cartoon or an animated feature, I'd maybe just ignore them a little. Kind of make them so they don't exist. Then let's add this thickness in here. Really try and get these patterns not exact as they are in here in the reference, but just pushing them so they look kind of cool. Then this eye is awesome. So it's 3D and is kind of making these. It's magnifying these outside parts and. Let's have a look, and then let's tuck in under there, like so. I like fish now. I've never really looked at fish, but I'm a fish fan. I don't mean the band. Maybe I'm a fish fan. I don't think I've ever heard them. So let's come down. I'm loving fish, and I've said it many times. Alright, so we've got this nice kind of thing here, so let's make this a feature as well. Let's make this bigger and let's change this pattern slightly. But it's fine because he's our character, so we can do what we want with him. Like so. So as you can see, with this sort of stuff, you're picking the stuff you like and either getting rid of or kind of playing down the things that you don't like as much. So that's what I'm doing here. And when you're working from reference, that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be just trying to copy. You should be always trying to create and use reference to influence and bring some reality into your designs, but at the same time you are going to be caricaturing these things. And I really like this bit. It kind of looks like a little belly hanging down, so I'm going to accent this little belly a little bit because this makes me laugh. So I've got this little belly, and then let's bring this further down. Like so. Patterns in there. It's got this little outline. Then on the top it's got these like funky things like this. I really like these. They're good. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so that guy to me looks about, sorry, just a sec, done, I think. Yes, I think we'll leave that there for now. So we've got three fish, and you can see how I would approach drawing them to caricature them slightly to create cartoon characters out of them. Now, what we could do, even further than that, is really simplify these things. In fact, I'll do that now, actually. What I'll do is I'll really simplify these things, just so you can see how I would take these even more a step further. So let's get rid of the reference now for all of these kind of goofy dudes. And let's use... No, wrong thing. Let's use this guy as our reference for the next thing. So I'm just going to simplify this loads, actually. This is going to be more of like a kind of super stylized version. Like so. Let's really tuck these in. So this is how you take something. Actually, it looks like a car, but let's oh, that'd be even cooler. We could turn these things into cars, but let's not. So this is how you get really stylized pictures, is by caricaturing the caricature and simplifying things to an even more extent. Now, this style is not something I ever really do, but obviously it helps to kind of do it sometimes. Now can we tuck that in there like so, to give it a bit of a smile. Like I said, I wouldn't normally go ahead and push things to this extent where you're really simplifying the forms. Now, people do this, and people do this incredibly. So I'm not here to say that people shouldn't do this, because style is style. And people have a lot more of a more refined and better style than I do, who do this kind of stuff. So let's take a look. Let's add these kind of patterns in here, like so. Again, I'm just going very quick with these. Let's add this thing on there, 'cause I really like this kind of pattern. Let's make this even more played down. Then let's play these up a little, like so. There we go. So that's kind of how I would approach simplifying it even further to become more of a cartoon character kind of thing. Just really tuck that in there. Just add a bit more character to it. But you can see this, and now we could take this. Actually, let's duplicate this just to make this quicker. And let's make... I'm feeling for this actual style that I've gone with the kind of goofy smile and stuff. If we had the little lips, like so, like kind of pouting, I feel like that would make him look even funnier. So that's what we're going to do. He kind of looks really dopey. Let's add this bit in like so. So it's kind of this like dopey looking goofy character. And then you could go ahead even further and caricature that again if you wanted to. Let's just make these forms rounder. And if you look at anything really, any cartoon, you can see that this stuff is done all over the place. Where it is just caricaturing the caricatured like this. And what I will do is I will add the kind of that part on there, the little floppy bits on there. So there we go. This is how we'd caricature the caricature somewhat and just make this a little bit more towards a cartoon character. Then we could take this a step further. We could start adding hairdos and things to the character and accenting it even more. I'm just really enjoying these fish at the moment. Really fun. So that's what I would do. Like I said, I'll clean the characters up slightly. But what's that one? Oh yeah, we had 3 of them. So this dude, let's caricature him a little further. So we'll use him as the reference image up here. I always tend to make these videos 10 times longer than I intend because I start having loads of fun with the drawings, which is fine, I guess. So let's really make this about this section here. So we've got this shape here. Like so. And this is going to come down. And his lips. Let's make this all about the eyes. And then let's extend that like so. Let's make this about the eyes and about the awesome lips. There we go. So you never want to lose sight of the original design completely. But at the same time, you do want to keep pushing it and pushing it. Like I'd maybe go and do like 10 of these and just keep pushing it further and further each time. And just see which one I preferred the most. Because you can always dial it down a little bit. Let's add an eyebrow on there. I mean, it's a fish. It's not going to have an eyebrow. But this is cartoons. And get a lot of expression out of eyebrows. So let's come down to this. Actually, it was to this point, wasn't it? But I kind of like this extra weight on here. So let's leave that for now. And then let's really make these lips big. Like so. I do like this, the bump on this nose, but it makes sense to kind of make it a little smaller. Like that. So we've got these lips. So the top lip is obviously bigger than the bottom lip. Let's add like so. Let's attach a bit more down there. So we're kind of doing it as a cartoon character where you're kind of adding a muzzle in, that kind of thing. How you would draw a dog or something, or a duck as a cartoon character. We're kind of doing that. So we've got this part, then come down. There we go. So that wants to have an element of reality in there, which there is. If you look, I mean, we're just pushing these a little bit further, but then at the same time it's a lot further. And what we're doing at this point, where we're let's just have a look at the original reference. Okay, so what we're doing at this point is we're just saying what's important to this drawing, what makes this read as a fish, and what makes it read as this breed of fish. and we're taking them things and we're really going over the top with them. So let's make this a little shorter, like so. So we've got this in here, like that. And we can always go back and reference the original image to see bits that we didn't quite get right. But once we've got this and we've got the positioning of how things are going to attach, then we can go in and refine the details somewhat. So let's play that down a little bit. We don't need this to be big. So we can go in and let's round that slightly more, like that. Let's go in and find that original fish. Let's get rid of this one. So now we can go in and we can see that along this back there was a stripe along here. So we can add this in as well, like so. And this kind of darker bits down here. But essentially, we have this fish here crazily simplified, so it's almost unrecognisable, but you can still recognise it as being a fish, like this. I might try and like realistically paint one of the cartoonized versions, if you get what I mean. So that to me reminds me of this fish. Of course, it looks nothing like this fish in the slightest, but it's just got a look of it for me that's just enough for it to pass. Now let's go back and look at the very first fish, which was this one. And actually, we're not using that as reference, are we? Sorry. Let's use... Is it here? Is that the one? Yeah. Actually, this one's quite caricatured as it is, so what we can do is we can just go in and modify this slightly, get some kind of shapes that we like. In fact, what I'll do is I'll bring that down so that connects to the bottom of the lip. I know I didn't do that on the original fish, but it doesn't matter. And what I will do is I will make that flat there. And then I'll make that so that is, so these are actual lips, like so. And this will come round and connect. Like this. So there we go. This one kind of was done enough. Again, if I went and caricatured it, I could caricature it a lot further and kind of make it a lot more cartoonized. But just for what we're talking about, I feel like what I was getting to grips, what I was trying to communicate was the fact of don't stick too closely to it and just try and make something that looks fun from something that is real. Reality is fun, but let's just really amp that up. So if you want to see more videos like this or actual paintings on or how to do animals I'm more familiar with, how to take a picture of them and really caricature them up and make them look like cartoon characters, then let me know. Just leave a comment down below. And if you've liked this video, tickle the down below. So click the subscribe button, click the like button. It helps me, it shows me what kind of things I'm doing right and what kind of things I'm doing wrong. So I shall see you next time. So take care. Bye-bye.